Fresh newspapers now here on the programme. Dipty's with me here on set. I'm intrigued by this first story. This is Bernard Cazeneuve, the French Interior Minister. Now, he's actually lodged a complaint for defamation now, hasn't he, Dipty, over the Nice attack?
That's right, Stuart. We know last week that Libération, the French left-leaning paper, had revealed that there was no police van blocking off the entrance at the Promenade des Anglais on the night of the 14th of July attack. Well, yesterday, a police officer accused the French Interior Minister of harassment, saying that she was forced to change her testimony following that attack to say that national police vans had indeed been parked outside the Promenade des Anglais. Now, Bernard Cazeneuve, the French Interior Minister, has called these allegations, quote, political manipulation. That's according to Le Figaro newspaper. He's now filing his own complaint, as you mentioned, against this policewoman for defamation.
Now, the Le Parisien newspaper is looking at exactly why the French Interior Minister, Bernard Cazeneuve, has become such a target now in the press.
Well, it's really interesting, isn't it? I mean, the 53-year-old French Interior Minister was praised in the aftermath of the Charlie Hebdo attacks and also after the November 13th attacks for his stoicism, for remaining calm, cool, collected. But now the tables have turned, at least it would appear. He's sort of seen to be the preferred target, or at least a punching bag for those on the far right and also the center right. This, of course, just months out from the French presidential elections. Now, Cazeneuve himself reacted furiously to the allegations on Sunday night in an interview with French TV, saying that he would not accept that people continue to smear his reputation. He says he's not committed any error and refuses to resign. In fact, his team says it's an attempt at a coup, a political coup, by Christian Estrosi, who's the former mayor of Nice and also a member of Nicolas Sarkozy's Les Républicains party. Now, Estrosi was very vocal against the government after the Nice attacks. I mean, whether that's the case or not, for L'Humanité, the communist paper, this whole situation is a, quote, indecent soap opera, one that's sort of overshadowing what should be a period of mourning and grief for the families of the 84 victims.
You found another piece, haven't you, in Slate, this one, that may well sum up for many of us, at least what a lot of people here in France are thinking. What is the point of this controversy with Cazeneuve?
Well, at first glance, the whole point may be really just the need to apportion blame somewhere. You know, France was barely out of its grief from the November 13th attacks when the Nice attack happened. For Slate, it's really the death toll, 84 people, a lot of children among those, that makes this a big issue. French people are angry. They need some sort of justification or some sort of explanation, and finding a way to blame Cazeneuve or draw into question the government's security measures on the night is, according to Slate, a way to convince ourselves that we're still capable of doing something to prevent such attacks. But for this writer of the Slate article, he sort of comes out in defense of Bernard Cazeneuve, saying even if Cazeneuve resigns or he's forced out, it wouldn't, I quote, France would not be more or less exposed to the unpredictable brutality of jihadism.
Let's move on to a different subject. We're going to talk about Turkey for you now. Thousands of people taking to the streets there in a pro-democracy march in Istanbul. That's
right. L'Humanité is talking about it on its front page this morning, Stuart, with a picture of that very impressive gathering in Taksim Square yesterday. L'Humanité's headline reads, "The counterattack is organized in Turkey to defend democracy." Now, according to the communist paper, President Erdogan actually authorized this demonstration. Now, the demonstration itself was organized by the CHP party, which is a pro-secularist party in Turkey, the second biggest political party in the country. But they actually supported Erdogan during the failed coup attempt 10 days ago, which might explain why he authorized the demonstration. The party has warned the Turkish leader, however, that they've warned him against the temptation to govern, quote, by anger and vengeance. And it's really interesting because Le Monde is actually talking about an Amnesty International report that says it has credible proof that detainees have been tortured in Turkey. Tens of thousands of critics were detained, as we know, in the 10 days following that failed coup. Apparently, some of these detainees have been denied food, water, subjected to threats, and in some cases beaten, tortured, or even raped.
Yeah, I'm sure that's a story we're going to come back to a lot here on France 24. We're getting on something hopefully to put a bit of a smile on your faces, at least if you're a fan of cycling. We saw it earlier on in the bulletin, of course. The Brit Chris Froome, he has won the Tour de France.
That's right. He took home the yellow jersey on Sunday in Paris, Stewart, and joins esteemed company as one of the few cyclists to have won the Tour 3 times there, and you see him on the front page of L'Équipe, the French sports newspaper. But there is another man who rather spectacularly impressed a lot of cycling experts during the Tour. His name is Romain Bardet. He's a 25-year-old French cyclist who came in second this year. For some cycling experts interviewed by Le Parisien newspaper here, he could actually win the Tour de France next year or in the years to come. He's still young. He's got a bit of progress to make, but he's definitely got a lot of potential. And it couldn't come sooner because the last Frenchman to win the Tour de France was Bernard Hinault in 1985.
That's incredible. It's that long ago with the Tour de France here.
That's right.
You would have thought that French people, come on, France, would do a little bit better. Maybe next year.
Maybe
Who knows?
next year.
All right. Well done to Chris Froome and well done to him as well. Thank you, Dipti. Dipti with the papers here on France 24. More